Welcome, dear friends. Welcome again to our live broadcasting. My name is Alina Tomer, and I am a licensed tourist guide in Romania. One of the over 300 members of our association, the Professional Tourist Guide Association ProGuide, which activates in Romania. Together with our colleagues, we decided, since March we are in lockdown, we decided to come to you with this live broadcasting. Instead of looking to our certificates and licenses, how beautiful they are, we decided to come up front and bring you in your homes the beauty of Romania. So each and every licensed tourist guide in Romania will have such a certificate and such a license, or let's say badge, which him is enforced, let's say, by law to wear it while he guides. So we have over 38 live broadcasting, and we are transmitting over 3 channels: Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. These are live, ProGuide Romania. If you missed one of our live broadcasting, you can find it all over, or search it over our channels. So today we decided to have the first English broadcasting. All the other virtual tours were in Romanian. So we have today a premiere. So let's invite our friend and colleague Mădălina next to us. Hi and welcome. How are you?
Hi, Alina. Hi, everyone. I'm great, full of emotions.
Of course. Tell us something about you. Who are you? What languages do you speak? And for how long are you doing this job? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it?
Well, you cannot get bored in this industry, that's for sure. I'm also a licensed tour guide. Here I have my badge. I hope it's visible.
Correct, yeah.
Doing guiding since 2016.
Wow.
So this would be the 4th year. And since it's number 4, it's full of challenges already. Challenges for everybody. As we say in tourism, this field, this domain, or whatever you want to call it, choose you. You don't choose tourist chooses you. So that is what happened in my case. That is what happened in my case.
And as far as I know, you are also a blogger, correct?
Correct. So I'm a tour guide, I'm a blogger, Instagrammer, whatever. I'm also acting in online.
Great.
So
wonderful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Alina, for the invitation and for the push-up. And for
push-up.
Yeah, I needed a little push. I have to admit it.
No problem.
There's my other colleagues, but they don't want to admit it.
So it's important to know that you have someone behind you can rely on. So that's why we are a wonderful team, right? All of us. So before we start the virtual tour, let us remember the broadcasting of this week. We have it this week, Monday, Friday, Sunday, from 6 p.m. GMT, Bucharest time. And as I said, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and of course, you can find us also in LinkedIn. Now, let's get forward with our virtual tour, and I'm going to give you the stage. Enjoy. See you later.
Thank you. Well, the show has begun, and it's actually my first virtual tour, and it's actually my first virtual tour in English So it's a premiere for us, for me personally, and for our association, and probably for Romania as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I hope so. So let's hope that we will inspire others, my colleagues as well, to come and to make more and more virtual tours, also in other languages other than Romanian. I'm a tour guide since 2016, as I was telling you, and I'm guiding in four different languages: English, French, Italian, and Spanish, but mostly English and French. Before I began the tour, I want you to understand why I chose this particular tourist attraction and not others, because Romania is full of special places, full of nice places to visit and to see. So I chose this palace, the Palace of the Parliament, because it's not only the most important landmark of Bucharest, but also because I've worked in it for almost a year during 2017 till 2018. I was a local tour guide inside, so I was actually welcoming a lot of tourists from all over the world inside the Palace of the Parliament. So I know this building quite good. Not as much as I would like to, because I was only authorized to go in certain areas of the palace. Not so fast, Alina. You know, I always dreamed of having, you know, my own palace or my own castle, you know, since childhood. And I figured, since I didn't had the chance to buy myself my own castle or palace so far, I might just well at least work for one. So I've worked as a tour guide inside the Palace of the Parliament. And surprise, Alina, be prepared, don't faint. And actually, in spite of this Mercury, who is retrograde and stuff like this, so it's possible that we have bad connections and stuff like this. I hope not, but in case it happens, don't blame me, blame the Mercury. Guess what? The universe is making things happen in a very nice way. And just behind me, now I'm in my office, I'm not at home. I'm in the office, and just behind me, guess what I have? From the window of our kitchen in the office, guess what I don't know if you see it. I hope you do. Yeah, can you see it? I hope so. It's basically the Palace of the Parliament. So guess what? It's haunting me. I'm joking, of course, but apparently I do have a strong connection with this tourist attraction. I still have it. So I'm looking at it right now as I'm talking to you, and it's inspiring. It's very inspiring. I never would have thought of such a perfect way to organize stuff. So thank you, universe, for that. You're the best. So this building, it's huge. I don't know if there are aliens, but if there are aliens, they must know already that this building exists, because now you see the aerial view of the building. It's visible from the out of space. And it's a huge and impressive building. It's a building full of records. It's actually the second largest administrative building in the world, after the Pentagon and the Quetzalcoatl Pyramid. And it exceeds by 2% the big pyramid of Cheops in Egypt. So it's something huge. In case you haven't seen it by now, I do invite you to come and see it live. For now, it's not open yet. It's still not you cannot visiting yet, but I'm hoping that in July they will open it. I don't know for sure, but for now it's you cannot go and see it. This is all I know as a certain information. So it's not only a huge building, but it has also a very particular architecture. And you can see here the plan of the building. The building has, Alina, if you can put the first image of the presentation. Yeah, thank you. So it has three layers, let's say, three parties. It has 86 meters high, 270 meters long, and 245 meters wide. And as a surface, it has 365,000 square meters. So it's huge. And also, this building marks an important period in the history of Romania, the communist time, because it's also connected with Nicolae Ceausescu, our former communist leader, because it was built during his time. It started in 1983, and by 1989 it was built like 60% of the building. It was a huge team of 20,000 workers who labored 24/7 to complete this project in 3 shifts. And many of them, unfortunately, even died during the work site, on the work site. But it has a very particular architecture, which is kind of hard to explain. And inside is so huge that if I come back again to the palace, I will completely get lost. Because it's not like a normal building. It has the plan, and the floors are very different from a building that we know, from an office building or from a home building. There were a team of 700 architects who actually planned and executed this building, and the chief of the architect was at that time a woman, Anca Petrescu, who was actually very young at that time. She was only 28 years old, and she died, she passed away like 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So she was very young at that time, but she won a contest for architects. So that's why she became the head architect of the team of architects who built the Palace of the Parliament. The former name of the Palace of the Parliament is the People's House. And it's actually a little bit ironic, because it was never for the people, this building, and the people didn't have access inside. After the fall of the communism, this building was opened the first time for the public, and many of the Romanians were standing in line just to see the inside, among them my parents as well, and probably myself. I don't remember exactly, but we were all very curious of what Ceausescu did with our money, because to build this huge structure, of course, you can imagine you need a lot of money and a lot of manpower and a lot of resources. So the people of Romania had to suffer severe restrictions for this building to be done. The initial plan of Nicolae Ceausescu was never to live inside this huge structure, because there are rumors and there are a lot of stories on Google. So, by the way, dear viewers, tourists, don't believe everything you read on Google, because it has nothing to do with reality. So his original plan was not for him to live here, because some of the tourists are mistaking this building with the house of Ceausescu. Ceausescu never lived inside this building for one reason, because it was never completed during his time. So basically, he never got the chance to see the whole building completed. Not even today, we cannot say that it's 100% completed. It's somewhere around 95. So we are still building inside. So his original plan was to bring here most of the communist administration, ministries, administrative bodies, and so on. So to have it basically everything and everyone in one place. And there are all sorts of rumors connected to this building. There are rumors about the underground. The underground, it has 14 meters deep of depth. There are, like, in terms of if we think of a block of living or an office building, we can say that in the underground there are like 7 or 8 floors, but big ones, huge ones actually. So about the measurements and about this building, it is standing on Arsenal Hill. It used to be there, one of the oldest neighborhoods of Bucharest, called Uranus. And because Ceausescu wanted so much to build this building, he basically demolished completely a whole neighborhood to make space for this building to be erected. Of course, there were a lot of buildings there, hospitals, houses of the people, and also churches. Some of the churches were demolished, but some of them were luckier than others, and they were moved. And they were moved using railways and placed just behind the other buildings that surround the Palace of the Parliament. So this is how the history is written. And for the construction of this huge building, they were used, as you can imagine, huge quantities of raw material. Thousands of tons. They used like 2 million cubic meters of sand, 1 million cubic meters of marble. It has, this building, more than 2,000 chandeliers, most of them made of pure Romanian crystal. Basically, what Ceausescu wanted was to build a structure 100% of Romanian origin. And he succeeded, like 99.99%. I'm going to show you inside what is not Romanian. But basically, all this huge quantity of raw materials were comes from Romania. The marble, the chandeliers, everything. What you see right now is exactly the entrance for tourists. Of course, this building has more than one entrances, and nowadays it houses not only the Parliament of Romania, which has 2 chambers, so the chambers of deputies and the Senate, but also the Legislative Council, and also the Constitutional Court and the Museum of Contemporary Art. So we have basically a nice mixture of Romanian architecture and something new and modern. So this is the main entrance into the palace, and this is exactly where the tourists go to buy tickets and to buy some souvenirs. And basically, if you get there, they have a very nice selection of souvenirs. I bought a few myself because they are 100% Romanian made, not made in somewhere else. Next image. So in the other side, when you enter, in the other side, on the right side, we have a gallery of contemporary art with ever-changing exhibitions. So it's not a permanent exhibition. It's an exhibition space, which is used for all sorts of exhibition and paintings and stuff. And they are changing the exhibition quite often. Next. I was telling you that this building has more than 1,000 rooms. You can imagine not all of them are used. So basically nowadays, even if the parliament works inside and even if there are lots of people inside, we use it like 70% of the building. This hall is what you can see in the first, when you start the tour. Basically, this is the hall that you see for the first time. This is a Rossetti Hall. Basically, it had to be like a theater because it has 600 seats and a very, very beautiful chandelier. Next, this one, here it is. It's one of the biggest chandeliers in the Palace of the Parliament, and it's huge. It has 6 tons of crystal, pure Romanian crystal. So as you can imagine, it's a nightmare to clean it. So you don't want to know how the cleaning ladies are doing, but the thing is, everything was well planned before. So in order to do the cleaning, because most of the tourists are asking me this question, how do they clean it? Well, basically, under, above, it's a chamber that opens, so you can go and clean it from above. It's madness anyway, but it's also very, very nice. So basically, in our tour today, I'm not gonna be able to cover not even half of the tour we normally do, but I'm gonna show you some of the most beautiful halls in the palace, and I'm gonna say just a few things on which, because I can talk for hours and hours, but at some point, Alina will kill me. So if you don't want to see the first tour guide killed live, hear me out. This is the press. This is the press gallery. Here, when we have broadcasts, when we have press conferences and other stuff, here it stays most of the press. Inside this gallery, as you can see, we have here a beautiful Romanian costume, and mostly we have other paintings. Most of them painted by Sabin Bălașa, one of Nicolae Ceaușescu's favorite painter. Here we have basically the main entrance, and the main entrance is somewhere in the left side of this image. This is the main entrance, the official entrance into the building, let's say. And this can be considered some sort of a ground floor, but it's not quite actually a ground floor, but can be considered like the ground floor. So can you, Alina, can you go back to, yeah. If you look in this picture, you will see two wooden doors where people are heading. Well, these two wooden doors, they are making like this, you know, gliding doors with crystal glass, and it has there are the original doors with the original crystal. It's crystal clear, believe me. On the other side of the door, now please pass to the next image. This is so in the other direction of the hall, where the hall ends, we have this hall, this beautiful hall. It's called the Human Rights Hall. It also housed a lot of important meetings. It has also a very beautiful chandelier, which look bigger than the first one we saw, but it's actually smaller. It weighs only 2 tons, so it's a little smaller, but just as nice, just as beautiful. And in this room, there is a secret door, which leads to a secret passage, which leads to a secret cabinet. But I'm not gonna show it to you. I'm waiting for you to come see it for yourself and to discover it. So we can pass to the next image. This is another beautiful hall. Everything that you see here is marble. So if you think it's marble, you're not mistaken. It is marble. So this beautiful hall, Bratiano is called. It's among few of the halls that are natural light, but also artificial light at the same time. It also hosted important meetings, Crans-Montana meetings, also conferences. Actually, most of these rooms, which you will see during this tour, can also be rented for various events, for most of the time for conferences, exhibition, fairs, but also for the New Year's party, which we are going to see later. So this one is the same room, but without the chairs. Please admire the beautiful carpet. It's 100 Romanian carpet. It's original carpet. Basically, everything that you will see when you'll come and visit live, there are the original stuff, original marble, original furniture. Not many modifications were added to the structure, and these carpets were also made by nuns, actually. So 100% Romanian, and you don't want to know how hard it is to clean all of these carpets as well, and the curtains, and the chandeliers, and everything. This one is called Tache Ionescu Hall. This is among the few halls inside the palace who doesn't have any windows. So no natural light. So in order to, no, go back, Alina, please. So in order to compensate the lack of natural light, these lights were added. And actually, I want to stay like 2 minutes on this image to tell you that the Palace of the Parliament has a very interesting ventilation system. Because Nicolae Ceausescu had a fear, he was scared very much of the fact that someday somebody might poison him through the ventilation system. So he asked the architects to design this place in such a way so they don't need to use air conditioning. So this building has a very, very smart air conditioning system, which is not air conditioning actually, but it's a very interesting system in which the air is circulating throughout the whole building, and the ventilation is ensured like this without using air conditioning. So imagine, you will see air conditioning when you come here, but this was added later. This was added after the fall of the communists, actually, because it's now converted into offices, and it's quite hot in there, and without air conditioning, it's quite hard to survive. But these were added later. This was never intended to be with air conditioning. But in modern times, what can you do with the global warming? Go back, Alina, to the previous image. I was telling you at the beginning that we have few elements inside which are not Romanian. If you see this door, this wooden door, are present, received by Ceausescu, by another communist leader, Mobutu Sese Seko, during one of his official visits here in Romania. And this is few of the elements of foreign origin inside the Palace of the Parliament. They were a gift, so what can you do? Specially made for the Palace of the Parliament, so you cannot say no to that. And now, next image, the pearl of the halls is the Union Hall. This is the most famous hall inside the Palace of the Parliament. Why? Because here we organize each year the famous New Year's Eve party, which has a different theme every year. And it's not, if you think it's so expensive, the ticket to get there, it's not so expensive. Somewhere around 150 to 100 euros something like this. This hall hosts also an important event for brides, the marriage fest, and also other fairs, other conferences. Take a look at this ceiling. This is a retractable ceiling, a very beautiful retractable ceiling. Of course, this one is not made of crystal, and right now it's not retractable anymore. It's fixed, but it used to be retractable. And if you see there, it's an empty space between these two small doors, which are actually big in reality. It's an empty space. We have two empty spaces in this hall, because here it should have been the portraits of the two communist leaders, Nicolae Ceausescu and his wife Elena Ceausescu. Of course, everything is marble, and of course you can see that it has a very particular spark, these ornaments, because it's golden leaf, real golden leaf. And also this hall is very beautiful. It has the access from the outside, from the courtyard, which is quite nice. The empty space, as I was telling you, should have been full with portraits. Yep, and the doors. Well, the staircase. We have two big staircases of marble, of course. Well, these staircases had to be redone like 10 times, because Ceausescu wasn't a very tall guy. He wanted a special, let's say, measurement between the stairs, and they couldn't make it on the first time, so he had put them to remake them 10 times until they managed to preserve this space between each step. Actually, Ceausescu came a few times on the work site. He was supervising the works, but unfortunately for him, he never had the chance to see his masterpiece finished. So this is the first floor. So now we are looking at Cuza Hall. Most of the halls have the names of important personalities within the history of Romania. This hall is named Cuza. It has a capacity of approximately 1,000 seats. Up there, it's also the anthem of Romania. And from this room up there, it was supposed to be actually a concert hall, Cuza Hall. So up there, it should have been a choir, a very beautiful choir, but unfortunately, they never had the chance to see choir inside. And from this hall, we arrived to the most important spot and most popular spot, actually, within the Palace of the Parliament, the famous balcony overlooking the Constitution Square. And you can see from up here, we have three flags, a Romanian flag, and also a NATO flag and the European Union. As you can see, you have a large boulevard in front of you. It's the Romanian Champs-Élysées, which is actually a little longer and wider than the Champs-Élysées in France. As you can see, these buildings that surround the Palace of the Parliament in the right side and in the left side, they have the same architecture, because actually they wanted to preserve the same style. And actually, Nicolae Ceausescu, he made many official visits, and in each visit, he was inspired by something. He had something, and he made a list with all this stuff, and he wanted to replicate them in Romania in one way or another. Basically, the construction of this Palace of the Parliament was not inspired, but was, let's say, put into practice by a big earthquake. We had in 1977 in Romania, was a big earthquake of approximately almost 8 degrees on Richter scale, which completely changed the face of the city. Many people were killed. They lost their lives during that tragedy. It was a tragic moment in the history of Romania. Ceausescu was at that time in one of his official visits. He instantly came back, and he started to rebuild. So it was a good moment for him to start to think and to put in practice a big, huge plan to change the face of the city for the systematization of Bucharest. So in the center of this plan was to build this huge palace of the parliament. So that is why this building exists. And also the other buildings surrounding the place, the Arsenal Hill.
Before we go to the next, I would like to make a plan, a print plan of a beautiful view, so everybody can see closer this image. So we'll go out and then we come again, okay? Just a few seconds, okay?
Most of the tourists, of course, they enjoy very much the view, and they're taking lots of photos, and we have a lot of stories connected to this beautiful balcony, because Ceausescu, as I told you, never used the building. So you saw, many of you probably you saw the bloody images from 1989 when Ceausescu was in the balcony waving at the crowd and saying stuff. He wasn't here in this building. This is what I want you to understand. He wasn't here because he never used this building. But guess who was the VIP who actually used this balcony for the first time? You ain't gonna guess. It was Michael Jackson, actually, in 1991, when he came to Romania for his first concert. He was so delighted by everything that he saw, probably so charmed and shocked in a communist country. I think he didn't expect this. So he went outside, waving to the crowd, to the fans, and he said, "Hello, Budapest." And many others followed after him and made the same mistake. Now we are laughing, but at that time we weren't laughing so much. But now it's in the past, so it's a joke for now, you know. So now we are in the underground. So basically, a few years ago, they started to make some clinics, some real clinics in the underground of this building, and to show a very small portion of this to tourists, because this underground it's huge. A few years ago, the people from Top Gear came here and tested some of their fastest cars, Ferraris, Porsches, inside the Palace of the Parliament, inside the underground. And they were rolling, and rolling. So it's huge. There are rumors saying that this building has underground secret tunnels that connects it even to the airport. One thing is for sure, it is connected to the other buildings surrounding the palace, which now the other buildings are hosting some of Romania's administrative bodies, ministries, police headquarters, and so on. So this is basically the whole tour, and also now we go up to see the building from up, to see the terrace. Disappeared the terrace.
That's the last image I have.
The last image.
And this. Yeah.
Oops, I haven't saved it. My mistake. What can I
No
say? There is
problem.
also.
So we will have, let's say, we'll have this and this. Okay. So actually,
Okay,
the balcony, it's in this side of the building, correct?
Yes, correct. Right in front of us, within the first sector, let's say, of the building. Yeah, exactly there where you have the mouse. Exactly, it's exactly there. So within the standard tour, you basically see the inside of the buildings, most of the halls, but without the underground and without the terrace. So you need like 1 hour to do that. If you want to do the whole tour, the complete tour, you see also the terrace from above and the underground. So you prepare for like 2 hours if you want to do this.
Super. Thank you very much, Mădălina. It was a wonderful tour. Let's say a teaser for the future visitors to come. Let's see the comments. We have Mr. Meidan, which is saying hello from our YouTube channel from Israel. Hello, Mr. Michael Meidan. Then we have our colleague from Brasov, Perla. Congratulations, Mădălina. See?
Thank you, Perla.
Then we have Ciprian Shlemko, which is saying everything is huge. Of course, everything is huge. We are talking about the second building in the world. So
administrative building,
right. So everything is huge. Then we have our colleague from Târgu Mureș, Olymp, which is saying, great and nice presentation of a huge monumental building.
Yeah, the word is huge, that's for sure.
Yes, that's the word of this presentation. Thanks for this virtual tour. I've never had the chance to visit it, but it's on my list. Greetings, dear colleagues.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
No shame. It's good that, as I said, we bring the beauty of our country and the teaser and the interest to come and visit. Correct?
I was just teasing him.
Of course you are. So, Mădălina, we see us next Monday?
With another palace.
With a net.
I love palaces.
Of course, you want to be a princess, like all the girls, right? So that's wonderful. So we see us next Monday. Thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you very much for a beautiful presentation. And have a beautiful evening, my dear. Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Congratulations for the courage.
Thank you. Who else if not me?
Correct. So we have Mrs. Doina Dimonia, which is saying thank you for the nice presentation. Thank you very much, Mrs. Doina. And we have our colleague, which is saying from our YouTube channel, right, like. Good job. So thank you, Mădălina. Bye. See you.
Bye, everybody. Come and see Romania.
Correct. Come and see. That's the word. A huge building. Bye.
Bye.
So, dear friends, thank you very much for being with us today. We have visited today in a virtual tour a part of the House of Parliament. This is, as we said, a small teaser in order for you to understand what you lose if you not come and visit. So we invite you to come and visit when you will have the chance, and all this corona problem will go away. Meanwhile, if you like and love and would like to support our activity, please, you find our PayPal account here, or you can find all our details over the Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter account. Also, you can find us, as you can observe, pro-guide.eu, and you can completely contact us over our email, so you can benefit from the professional services of a tourist guide, qualified tourist guide. That's the word. Qualified tourist guide. It is a pro guide. See you. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.